The DNA enables storage of genetic information which is coded in form of nucleotide bases. Hello, we are going to look at the roles of the DNA. The DNA molecule is found inside the nucleus. It is very important because the roles that it plays in the organism's body is very important, which involves the genetic characteristics being passed from one organism to the other throughout the generation. The first role of the DNA molecule is to transfer genetic information from one cell generation to another. Remember, during the process of cell division, for example, the meiotic cell division which takes place in the gametes, the cell will divide into two, for example, the sperm cell. At the end, we are having the characteristics, the genetic information which was present inside that DNA, also available for the other cell, so that at the end of the cell division, we'll be having all those daughter cells, even if they are 2 or 4. All the daughter cells will be having the genetic information which was there initially in the parent's biological system. In this case, the DNA has played a very important role of transferring this genetic information from this cell generation to the other. When I talk of the cell generation, I'm referring to the organisms which give rise to the other young ones, and therefore those young ones become the first generation. And in that order, when those young ones, maybe the sons and daughters, give rise to the other ones, the grandsons and the granddaughters, those become the second cell generation in that order. So it ensures that there is continuity of those characteristics by transferring them from one to the other. That is the first role of the DNA. The second role is storing the genetic information. The DNA enables storage of genetic information which is coded in form of nucleotide bases. I told you that a short segment of the DNA molecule is called the nucleotide. So this genetic information is stored along the nucleotide bases, and in those regions that the genetic information is stored, in case there is the process of fertilization, this DNA molecule is still transmitted to the next generation. So inside the body of an individual, even right now as you're watching this, inside your cells, there are some nucleus. The nucleus comprises of the DNA molecule. The DNA molecule comprises of the nucleotide bases, which are coding for specific type of genetic information which is in protein form. That genetic information is stored there until when the process of cell division will be taking place, is when they are separated and divided equally to all the other cells. But we will see how the process of DNA formation takes place later on in the next lesson. Number 3, the role of DNA is translation of genetic information into characteristics. This genetic information that is present in the cell in form of proteins, but these proteins may not be well understood by a layman that they are the ones which determine the characteristic until the characteristics are seen on the body of an organism. That is when the layman may be able to understand. But as a geneticist, you need to understand that the DNA molecule facilitates translation of these characteristics. Let's take, for example, inside the nucleus where the DNA is found, there are some nucleotide bases along the DNA strand. Those nucleotide bases are the ones which code for specific characteristics, but they remain there until when they are needed to get into the ribosomes now. Ribosomes are found outside the nucleus in the cytoplasm, but that is where protein synthesis process takes place. And therefore, the DNA will be playing a role of translating this information and transmitting it again to the ribonucleic acid. And after the transmission of that information, we refer to that as translation, because from there, the specific type of protein will now be produced, and that protein differs from one to the other based on the strain of organism, based on the type of organism where it's found, among many other factors. Those are the three major roles of the DNA molecule that I've just mentioned in this lesson number 97. Let's meet in the next lesson, whereby I will be explaining the process of DNA replication. Besides, I will also explain how important is DNA replication and when does it occur. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it was helpful to you. And please, I would like you to do me two favors. Number one, subscribe to my channel, and number two, press that notification bell over there so that next time I post another video, you will be the first one to get the information. Thank you. Bye.